Welcome to the tutorial on how to control your anger. The first step of solving any problem in general is knowing that you have that you have a problem. So our first step will be considering knowing that there is an anger issue with you. This can be included in three main aspects of recognition whether you have an anger issue or not. The first one is usually aggression, considering how violence is an expression of your anger towards another person or your own self. Irritation is basically how easily you get angry, how easily you get annoyed by other people, how easily you express in a physical way, damaging or hurting other people, and finally, hiding emotions, showing or trying to show that anger is not a way to control other emotions or to show yourself as a strong person. Our second step will be understanding your anger. This is important considering that to solve, you need to understand yourself. To know how to reduce your anger in yourself, you need to know how it works, what it means to be an angry person, and finally, how it expresses in yourselves because each person is different. The main four steps for understanding your anger is knowing if it's out of control, if it's an anger, an extreme case where you get very violent against other people or hurting yourself, also repressing emotions that you think hiding sadness or abandonment issues all can be focused in anger and that you cannot feel these emotions because you only feel anger. And also your social relationships. If your friendships have been deteriorating slowly, or if you have been reducing your friends amount or your trust issues, or if you have trust issues with your main persons in your life. And also connecting to irritation, the reactions you have towards a stressful situation, usually meaning your sensitivity towards an environment, your sensitivity towards your reactions, your sensitivity towards the connection with your peers, whether if you have a problematic situation or you have a stressful day, and how angry you react towards this, how much you can control it. These four main steps will be essential to understanding your anger and to finally come to a conclusion where we can solve and find a successful solution towards your anger issues. Now, this drawing here basically shows how anger usually has a lot more emotions behind them, and that anger is not a lone emotion, if we can call it that way, but it's basically a combination of many emotions, and anger is just the way that these repressed emotions usually expresses themselves towards the environment around. Now, to controlling your anger issues, there are two main steps. Our third step in the tutorial, which is the long-term anger and how we can control it, and the fourth step in this tutorial, which is the anger in the moment. Now, for the third step, there are many ways you can control long-term anger, but the main four steps that psychiatrists and psychologists recommend. First one, physical activity. Physical activity helps you express these repressed feelings, this anger in other ways that will not hurt or show any violence against yourself or other people. Physical activity includes going to the gym, dedicating to a sport. Usually boxing is very related to anger management, considering how these punching bags with protective equipment helps you control your anger, helps you relaxing from stressful situation. Sleeping well, since not sleeping well basically means you get stressful and your sensitivity increases, which is part of knowing that there is an anger and understanding your own anger. So if you're not sleeping well, you increase these negative situations in your body, meaning that you will be more likely to act angrily to a situation. Sharing, sharing your emotions, talking to people you trust, confidence, your friends, your family, a psychologist, because sharing helps you release all the things that you're repressing, all the things that you're having inside your body that you're not really expressing, and this will only keep increasing until it explodes. And finally, avoiding stressful situations. Well, despite being obvious in the phrase, of course, stress is an important pillar in angerness. And of course, I have to clarify that anger is not a bad emotion, but if it's out of control, it can be bad. But if you can control your anger, this is a helpful emotion to finally release yourself. Now, anger in the moment. Anger in the moment, well, it states basically not like in general towards a period of time, or more like day or an hour situation where you have been showing anger to the person. Now, go to your happy place basically means remembering a happy situation, a family trip, a time you laughed or had fun with your friends. That basically makes your body reacts in a happy way, controlling your anger. Breathe deeply helps you control your stress levels, and you can also think a lot better, meaning that you can know how to react to these stressful situations that will probably increase your anger. So if you breathe deeply, these stressful situations can be more controllable, and the stress will reduce, and thus the anger. And changing into humor. When you have a stressful situation, one of the best ways to reduce your anger reaction towards it is making sure that you change this stressful situation into humor, because humor is a way of happiness and it releases endorphins to reduce the stress and the angerness, making you a lot more happy. Finally, all of these, the long-term anger and the anger in the moment, are to channel your emotions, to have a lot more self-control over your body, so you can reduce the anger. Thank you.